Hello and welcome to What is every country in the world best at part 2. In this part we're gonna go through all of the countries that start with I all the way to O, so get your popcorn ready because it's gonna be a lot of countries again. Happy New Year to everyone, this is the first video of 2024, but now let's just get started with Jamaica. Jamaica produced the fastest man alive in the world. His name is Usain Bolt. You surely heard of him, and he has the world record for 100 meters and 200 meters. And people can't get close to his record, he's insane. Japan has the largest number of elderly citizens if compared to the total population. That is 28.2%. Damn, that's why Japan is losing that much population. And also Japan is the smartest country in the world if you consider IQ. Just look at the IQ they have. Jordan has the lowest point below sea level that can actually be reached. It's in the Dead Sea and it is 428 meters. You can go scuba diving right now and you can get there, but who in their right mind does that? That's all of the countries with J. Now it's time for K. Kazakhstan produces the most uranium by far, weighing around 22,000 million tons. The country is responsible for 46% of the world's overall uranium production. Kenya is Africa's largest tea producer and the third one in the entire world. Kenya holds the world record for the fastest marathon time, which was actually set this year in Chicago, and it is 2 hours and 35 minutes. Kiribati was the first country to celebrate 2024 this year. They actually celebrate New Year's the fastest every single year. But unfortunately, it is also the first country expected to lose all of its land territory due to the climate changes. That is very sad. North Korea has the most censorship out of any country in the world. The global internet is banned there, and there are only a few Korean channels on the TV, but you can imagine how much propaganda there is there. This was me at 12 a.m. Okay, this is getting scary. South Korea has the highest education level with 69.29% of its people completing tertiary education. Tertiary education is basically university. And additionally, for some reason, they have the best female golfers in the world. Out of the top 100 female golfers in the world, 38 are Koreans. Kuwait is the largest fully urbanized country in the world. Kuwait also has the most valuable currency, and it is the Kuwaitini dinar, which is more valuable than pounds, which is considered by many the most valuable currency. Kyrgyzstan is home to the world's largest natural walnut forest. It is 600 kilometers square, playing a huge role for the local population. And I would want to go there because I'm kind of hungry of some nuts. These nuts. Laos was the most bombed country in the world. It had 580,000 bombing missions, and that means there were bombs every 8 minutes for 9 years straight. Imagine going there in that period. Latvia has the widest waterfall in Europe, the Venta waterfall, that is 250 meters wide. And here's how it looks. Lebanon is the country of the most Christians in the Middle East. 40% of its population are Christian people. Lesotho is the most unknown country in the world. Not many Europeans know about its existence, and I'm not even talking about Americans. Liberia is the oldest republic in Africa, declaring independence in 1847. Libya has the largest oil reserves in Africa with 48.4 billion barrels of oil. That is actually 38% of Africa's total oil reserves. Liechtenstein is the only country that has more companies than its citizens. Yeah, that's right. So it has around 60,000 business companies that have been registered, and the population of Liechtenstein is just 40,000, so it's almost doubled. This one is pretty cool because I didn't know it. Lithuania has the fastest public Wi-Fi in the world. With an average of 16.1 megabits per second, it barely beats Estonia, which is second. Also, it has the most hot air balloons per capita in the world. Pretty cool, right? Luxembourg has the highest salaries for teachers. Yeah, a teacher gets paid $71,000 per month. Also, Luxembourg is the best country when it comes to learning a foreign language because 98% of Luxembourg people speak a different language than their mother tongue. Now we're gonna go back to letter I because it has some important countries that we should talk about. There is Iceland, which is the most peaceful country in the world. It is the country with the best tap water quality in the world, with 100% of its population having access to tap water. Now India, what everyone is waiting for. India produces the most bananas with 30.5 million tons. And mangoes with 24.5 million tons. Bros have 2 million Hindu temples on their territory. They're the most populated country in the world, and quite random, it has the largest postal system with more than 150,000 post offices. Iran has 27 public holidays, and it has the most paid vacation days with 53 days in a year. Iran is also second when it comes to the number of natural gas vehicles, with 4 million cars, falling short to China, but it deserves the credit nonetheless, since, as I said in part 1, China tops many categories. Iraq is the most oil-dependent country in the world, with 99.8% of its fuel exports being just oil. Next is Libya and Venezuela, and 42.2% of Iraq's GDP comes from oil. These videos take more than 2 weeks to make, so if you could subscribe, that would motivate me to do more videos like these. Indonesia produces the most coconuts. It produces 17.1 million tons. And Indonesia also has the most coral reefs, with an area of 51,000 square kilometers. Ireland has the most Eurovisions won, along with Sweden, which is 7. But Sweden robbed Finland this year, let's be honest. Israel is the country with the most museums per capita in the world, with 200 museums for its 9.7 million people, so it has 21 museums per million people. Italy has the best food in the world, yep, with an average score of 472. It produces the most wine. They have 4,000 million liters of wine. Also, it is the least likely country to speak any foreign language, with 62% of its population speaking just Italian, and it is followed by UK and Portugal. Madagascar produces the most vanilla, with 50% of the global production, and that is 2.9 thousand tons of vanilla produced just from Madagascar. The longest solo swim in a lake was set in Malawi. The South African swimmer Martin Hobbs swam the full length of Lake Malawi with a total of 580 kilometers in just 54 days. And I'm saying just sarcastically, of course. And he got through a lot of crocodiles. This guy is insane. Malaysia has the largest hotel in the world with 7,351 rooms, which are divided into buildings. And its name is the First World Hotel. Malaysia also has the largest roundabout in the world, measuring 3.4 kilometers in circumference with 15 entry and exit points. Maldives is the lowest elevated country in the world, with its highest natural point just 2.4 meters above sea level. One tsunami and it's gone. Mali is the hottest average country in the world with 28.25 Celsius, and it is tied with Burkina Faso. Malta. Did you know that in Malta you can find the largest glass of wine? Yeah, take a look at this. Marshall Islands was the site of the largest nuclear bomb ever detonated by the US. It was the 15 megaton Castle Bravo bomb in 1954. Mauritania has the third longest train in the world, the Mauritania Railway Iron Ore train, that is 2.5 kilometers long, and of course it is the longest one in Africa. Mauritius is the most developed country in Africa, and it is also the most democratic one in Africa. This is pretty important. Mexico grows the most avocados. Currently, it has a total of 2.4 million tons of avocados. Micronesia is the smallest country by area to adopt more than one time zone, so it has 2 time zones, UTC plus 10 and UTC plus 11, because it is so widely spread. Now Moldova, the country I am actually from. It has the most fertile soil in the whole world. Moldova also holds the Guinness World Record for the largest wine cellar by number of bottles, with almost 2 million bottles stored here. It's called Milești Mici, and if you guys want some high quality wine, visit Moldova, aka the least visited country in Europe. Monaco has the highest life expectancy in the world at 87.1 years old. Monaco is also the most expensive country to live in the world, but it is the country with the highest GDP per capita in the world. So I think it's worth it. One more thing about Monaco is that it is the most densely populated country. But on the other side, we have Mongolia, that is the least densely populated country, with 2 people per kilometer square. Also, Mongolia's capital, Ulaanbaatar, is the coldest capital on average, with 0.2 Celsius on average. Montenegro is the most mountainous country in Europe, with 89.3% of its territory being just mountains. It is also the newest fully recognized country in Europe, with its independence in 2006. Kosovo is not fully recognized, so that's why I didn't put it here. But if we talk about Kosovo, then it is the newest country in Europe that isn't fully recognized. Morocco has the oldest university in the world. It's this university which was founded in 859. Morocco is also the first ever African country to reach the semifinals of a World Cup, and it happened in 2022. I remember that. Mozambique is the only country with all vowels of the alphabet, not including Y, and that is mind-blowing. Thanks for this comment. Myanmar is the new largest producer of opium. This happened just now, in December actually, and they overtook Afghanistan. So here we go, I'm correcting my own facts. I don't have that much left. Now it's time for Namibia. Namibia is home to the oldest desert in the world, the Namib Desert, that is 80 million years old. Also, Namibia is home to one of the highest sand dunes in the world, with up to 386 meters, the highest being Dune 7, followed by Big Daddy and Dune 45. And Dune 45 looks pretty cool. Here are some images. Everyone knows that Nauru is the most obese country in the world, but did you know that Nauru is the country that smokes the most? Yeah, 52.1% of its population is smoking. That is 1 in 2 people. Stop smoking, please. Thank you. Nepal is home to 8 of the 10 tallest mountains in the world, including the tallest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. Netherlands is the most English proficient country in the world. They even know it better than natives. Yeah. They produce the tallest people in the world, and they export the most flowers out of any other country. All of the statistics can be visible right now. New Zealand is the safest country in the world. Technically, it's second after Iceland, but Iceland's volcanoes are starting to become pretty dangerous, so I wouldn't consider it the safest country in the world. But that's my opinion, but it's pretty obvious. Nicaragua is home to the largest freshwater lake in Central America, Lake Nicaragua. 44.7 children are born for every 1,000 births yearly in Niger. It is the country with the highest birth rate in the world. Every mother makes an average of 7 children. Okay, next country. Nigeria has the largest GDP in Africa with $477 billion. It also has the highest population also in Africa with 223 million people. It is the 6th most populated country in the world. North Macedonia has the oldest lake in Europe, Lake Ohrid, with an estimated age of 4 million years. Norway, meanwhile, has the deepest lake in Europe with 514 meters deep. It is also the country with the most northern lights in the world, especially in the city of Tromsø. And finally, Oman, it is the oldest independent state in the Arab world, gaining independence in 1650. And that is the end of part 2. We still have one more part to go, and there are a lot of countries. So make sure to subscribe to not miss the final part. Thanks to Joe guys for becoming the first and only member of this channel so far, and also shout out to Matteo Concord 2, Nalvo108, MVP is taken, Virtual Nuke, Adex, Farley Gulga, and Greek Mapper for being one of the most active members on my Discord server and counting to 100,000. So if you want shoutouts in the future, make sure to join my Discord server. But that's about it. I'll see you guys in part 3.